Enterprise log, Captain James Kirk commanding. We are leaving that vast cloud of stars and planets which we call our galaxy. The question, what is out there in the black void beyond? This is Captain Kirk of the USS Enterprise. Is there anyone on board? Is there anyone on board? Have you raised anyone, Lieutenant?
Nothing, sir.
It is an unmanned probe which seems to be carrying a warhead.
William Shatner stars as Captain Kirk, and Leonard Nimoy as Science Officer Spock on Star Trek in color.
All right, folks. Update time on a few subjects here. One, starting off with something Kowalski did earlier today, and to put it in the way of Christian Harloff over on Jedi Council and Collider, what's the deal with Canon? That's, first, I think people have a problem with the whole concept of what Canon is in the first place. And it doesn't mean everything makes sense. It doesn't mean that. It means that is the official record. The people who control the property, this set of whatever, that is what counts. It comes out of when they first assembled the Bible. Because you had more than just 66 books. You had hundreds of different accounts, the Gospel of so-and-so, and all kinds of, different things. So the Old Testament was pretty much set. But when it came to the New Testament, it's any number you can think of how many books there were, it's probably more. So they had to narrow things down and basically pick out ones that seem to contradict each other less and whatever, and declare the rest of it pretty much religious fan fiction. So that is the and what they settled on, those 66, that's the canon. That is the official canon of the church, and that's where it comes from. And as far as fan stuff, really Sherlock Holmes, Arthur Conan Doyle could have said, what is the official canon for Sherlock Holmes? It's the stories he did. Because there's a lot of parallels in Holmes fandom and Star Trek fandom. They had fan fiction back then too. And people badgering him about killing off Holmes by going off the Reichenbach Falls. That's why he had to bring him back. So, basically, in the current context, canon, it's not even up for debate or argument. It's the work from on high on the top of that mountain at Paramount, really, and then with CBS. It's the live-action series, and yes, it is the animated. And the first 10 movies. Motion picture through Nemesis. That's canon. Doesn't mean they're any good. Doesn't mean they make sense. Doesn't mean they don't contradict something. That's the official record. And that's the stuff you can refer to. And I think a little something we can borrow from Star Wars when they did their thing of their little continuity clean sweep is, you got stuff that's canon and then stuff that is legends. The stuff that used to be considered canon, now it's legends. It might be true, probably not. There might be an element or two. Like we might bring in Lieutenant Piper from Diane Carey stories and stuff like that. Doesn't mean what happened in the novels actually happened. But you bring in this character. What the hell? In fact, in the remastered episodes, where he had something resembling Vanguard Station showed up. There you go. Something like that. Doesn't mean anything in the stuff. And however much movie like Dayton and Kevin, doesn't mean what they wrote down counts. And they know. They're big boys. They know the game's played. But that's the way it works. And I know I keep tooting my horn about the concordance, and yes, it is happening. It's working. I think there's been a little more delay because of my current circumstances. But Bijo's watching stuff. She's getting up to speed. She is rather shocked at the number of episodes we had to add here, especially with Enterprise. It's almost the entire 4th season. I think there's one episode of 4 seasons that didn't quite make the cut. But most of Enterprise, actually. And I think... well, in the 2nd season, there was one episode, I think. And it's because it has to do with human-Vulcan conception. So it has an impact on Spock. So that's why I threw it in there. But you got to go for the strict definition of canon. It's like what counts. As much as I would love to include the Star Trek Continues episodes to round things out and for more than 5 years, sorry. It's like, yeah, they don't contradict anything. They work in there. They do a damn good job of making everything fit. But unfortunately, that doesn't count. Maybe one day it will. I don't know. Or it might do a supplement on the side, so for those who are so inclined to slip these pages in between. But it's only the actual aired episodes of each of the series, and yes, that includes the animated. I think even CBS and Paramount come around to that. And it's just the simple fact of they have an entire extra on the animated series DVD set where they're debating, is this canon? And I think David wrote something very nicely. It's called Star Trek. It's got Gene Roddenberry's name on it. It's produced by Dorothy Fontana. It's got almost the entire cast doing their original characters. It's got a lot of the writers from the original series doing it. In fact, some of the episodes were planned for a 4th season of Star Trek. So yeah, animated series is canon. Deal with it, okay? And as for why it was ever declared non-canon, there are reasons for that, some likely than others. And that's for another video, I think. Now, on other issues, a little something that came through fan-sided in connection with an IO9 article. The fan-sided one is CBS doesn't care about Star Trek. I'm going to nip that one right now. No, they care. They may not know what the hell they're doing right now, and they're fumbling the ball left and right, but they do care. It's $1 billion a year franchise for them. They damn well care. Especially since they own the thing. Weird set of circumstances. CBS rejected it back in '65, and now they own it. Lock, stock, and phaser emitter. But yeah, they do need it. I think they made some big mistakes. And some of the statements they made about, it wouldn't hold up on TV, like the CW. CW is almost entirely genre-driven right now. They should change the thing from CW to the DC channel. That's what all it is now, is DC, DC's hero shows. But yeah, I think it'd be easy if they change their mind with it, because they're still going to premiere the pilot on CBS and see what kind of numbers that brings in. They might change their mind. You never know. Stranger things have happened. But yeah, they do care. Okay. Getting the IO9 thing, for the sake of YouTube's advertiser-friendly stipulations, I'll launder the title of the article slide. What the frack is going on with Star Trek Discovery? Yeah, you can figure out what the regular actual word is. Anyway, let's see. Star Trek Discovery is delayed yet again. The beloved Next Generation actor was recently... Yeah, apparently they offered Michael Dorn a very pathetic amount of money to show up as Worf's ancestor. He said, thanks, but no thanks. So, $6 million an episode, but they still got to pinch a penny somewhere. But yeah, they do seem to be handling this kind of ham-fisted. But, again, that shouldn't be really construed as they don't care. Because I think if they really didn't care, they'd have just slapped something together, thrown it out there, and we'd be done by now. And they'd have an excuse, well, see, no one cares anymore, And the argument, well, you put together a piece of crap. No wonder. No, they're taking their time. They're not going to rush this. It's frustrating. At least we finally got a cast. That was one entertainment, because it took forever just to get an idea of who's going to be in this thing. And you're going to have this thing premiere in a couple of months and nobody's cast yet? Yeah, sure. But yeah, they're doing. And one of these, someday down the line, we'll find out the whole story, because the stuff comes out eventually. I've been reading those books. I'm blanking. These are the continuing mission. But Mark Altman and Eric Grossman. The oral history of Star Trek. I've already finished the first volume, and the volume is that thick of the original series. The original series up through I think Star Trek 6, and I'm starting in on the second volume, which is Next Gen through JJ. And it's anything but a straight line and going from one to the next. It gets convoluted. And a lot of personalities, a lot of egos. And a lot of it comes down to whose name is on what nameplate. You know. And it's like, I think Roddenberry probably put it best when he was at Vegas Con in '88. Which I was at, but I wasn't at that day. I couldn't get that day. But he was doing a Q&A in the main events, and they're still throwing flack at him about cutting Dr. Crusher. And to make a point of it, he's the producer, and he makes it. Okay, we'll take a vote here. All right, everyone said, all in favor of keeping Dr. Crusher, say aye. All right, I say nay. Nay's carry it. That's it. I mean, yeah, he listened to the fans, but he wasn't going to let the fans run the show. So. But yeah, yes, there's reason to be concerned here. But like I said, I don't attribute malice where incompetence explains it very well too. Well, more likely to. But yeah, I think. Just hold on. Just keep the faith. They're shooting now. They have scripts. They got a couple scripts. Fuller wrote the pilot at least, so they got one at least. And they are shooting, and the more that comes out, it's looking a little less alarming. If they go along with what people have been theorizing with these strange reptilian sleeve-stack-looking Klingons, then okay, all right, it could work. But they damn well better, do a good job explaining, because they just say, these are Klingons. No, they're not. Klingons didn't look like that 10 years before the original series. I said they have gotten themselves in a very narrow pigeonhole by doing that 10 years before the original series. So they don't thread that needle, and they are in deep trouble, But yeah, I'm still expecting a September 8th premiere date. Just because it's got to be sometime in fall. Why not? Just because they didn't really do much for the anniversary as it is. So what the hell? Now, another issue I think I'll throw 2 cents worth in this DaddyOFive nonsense. One, I can't figure anyone putting your kids through that and then saying, it's a prank, bro. No. This guy kind of strikes me as he was probably a jock in school. Because jocks love their pranks. And the meaner the better, they think of it. Kid Cody is not, I was in a jock. And we got a jock guy who's having to learn what it's like to have a non-jock kid. Because his other kids also look like jocks, so we then body slamming poor Cody. So, and do it. Mr. DaddyOFive. You think, you don't know my kid. Look, 40 years ago, I was that kid. I had to put up a lot of crap from people like that. And I'm just, oh, he loves the attention. No, I guarantee he damn well doesn't like the attention. You get a kid like that crying his eyes out and say, put me up for a freaking prank. You'll be lucky if you retain custody of him, Sparky, okay? When you go through that court ordered, counseling, you better damn well pay attention. Because he's sitting there crying, it's not, oh, he loves the attention. No, he doesn't, okay? I guarantee he doesn't like the attention. And you also need to learn a few things about, what constitutes a decent prank. Screaming to your kid, like, what the fuck? And then, and it's not even funny, okay? Come on. Learn a little something about humor before you start trying to, do your own jokes, And there's plenty of resources online. I'm sure there's any number of YouTube videos you can look up about joke writing and gags and what is funny and what is just plain mean. And everything I've seen so far is just plain mean. And don't be surprised if you wind up getting an invitation on the Dr. Phil show to discuss in front of America when it's fun and games and when it actually constitutes abuse, whether you intend it or not. And trying to blame it on Phil DeFranco, that man is a superhero in mine. He fit him for a cape, okay? He probably just saved Cody's life in my book, so. Okay. As always, Patreon, PayPal, Cafe Press, links down below. thanks to those who've been chipping in here and there. Could be any day now. We should actually find out if I'm actually approved for this, and at least get off the streets for a little more than just a few days at a time. I got a plan or two if things finally come through and I get a check for, got a few houses look doable if we get approved for a decent amount. And I think first action was probably buy a camper, so we can offload the car and have a bed. So, stay tuned.